The purpose of this speech is to inform, persuade, entertain, or inspire. And he's going to attempt to do this mystery speech without any notes. How could he have any notes? It's a mystery. Are you kidding me? The title of his speech is Don't Do It. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Michael Passarella.
Yeah, buddy. Make us proud.
No, don't do it. You are not allowed. That is wrong. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. Have these statements ever stopped people from doing what they are not supposed to be doing? The answer is no.
No, never.
I know that you guys all remember when you were young and your mother told you no treats before dinner. And what did you do? You went and ate the ice cream. I had many moments in my life where I did things that I wasn't supposed to, and it didn't really turn out quite how I wanted it to. There was one time in particular where I remember it really didn't turn out how I wanted it to. It was about 13 years ago, on my way home from school. I was on the school bus, and we lived in a swamp at that time. I would go by this swamp, by this forest, really thick part of the forest, and I started to get captivated. I wondered, what could be in this part of the forest? I mean, I was 10, so I thought maybe dragons, treasure, who knows? Maybe flying monkeys. I don't know. There are flying monkeys. So, when I got home, I ran up to my mother, and I told her, Mom, I really want to go into this dark, creepy forest. I have to do it. And as you can imagine, she told me, no. So, I went to my brother, and I told him the same thing. I really want to go into this creepy forest, and I'm not going to be able to. My brother, who really didn't have the best character, told me, well, it's not if we're going in the forest. We're going there tomorrow morning. It was a Friday, after school, and Saturday morning we were going. So, we woke up, got the dog, leashed the dog, because we had to have our companion, to guard us, our guard dog. We set off into the forest, right across the street from us, set off into the forest. The first thing I realized while I was walking through the forest is these mud trails. It was like something had been dragged through the mud. Now, I didn't know at the time, in swamps, when you see that, that's actually alligator trails. So if I knew that, I obviously would have turned right back around. But I didn't know. So we kept moving on, and we walked for about 3 hours, and I started getting really hungry. So I told my brother, I'm very hungry. He had the bright idea that he was going to go capture an animal, he was going to kill it, mutilate it, and then cook it on the fire that we actually didn't even have. So I was like, that's great, we're going to go do that. And I sat there and waited. About 30 minutes later, I got really tired. I laid over on my side, and I fell asleep. And 30 more minutes later, I woke up, and I was really itchy, right on my back, right? In the back of my leg. I was like, look at that thing. And then it started getting really, really bad. So I stood up. I was about ready to strip at this point. It was really bad. I was wiping off. There was nothing on me. I looked at my arms, pulled up my sleeves. There was nothing there. And then about 30 seconds later, skin lesions, like pus-filled skin lesions, started growing out of my arms. All over my body. It was terrible. Now, you would have thought I would have turned back by now. No. My brother, with his peer-pressuring brotherly ways, told me how I was a wimp and I needed to toughen up, and I was like, okay. So we continued on. He would come up with these games to help me with my motivation to keep getting deeper and deeper into the forest. So he would tell me, run to that tree, I'll race you there, or jump over that stump. That's all we really could do. So, one of the stumps I didn't really jump over, I tripped over, and I must have scraped up on my arm and my body. I had bruises, and when I was laying there, I realized I felt like I was snagged on a tree or something. And when I was getting up, I must have sprained my ankle. So now I have skin lesions, sprained my ankle, scraped up. It was terrible. And to make it worse, while I'm sitting there, I look up, and hanging from one little thread is this black widow spider. Now, if a black widow spider lands on you, it's probably going to bite you. And if it bites you and you're stuck in a forest all alone, you're probably going to die. So, I calmly as I possibly could yelled to my brother to help me. And just to make a long story short, he saved me from the Black Widow spider. And when I got up, I didn't forgive him for any of this. I ran all the way home. I don't even care what the dog or my brother were. I just ran straight home, opposite direction, across the street, up into that room where my mom was, and I told her how I was so sorry and that I would never do it again. And that's a lie. But I know we're going to the swamp again. And you might be wondering, how does this apply to you? Well, the moral of the story is that when someone tells you not to do something, don't do it.
Woo! Wow, you give him a butterfly.